Greetings pilot and welcome to X4 Foundation's 7.0 beta. We have been playing for just short of 12 hours on the playthrough so far. After the last episode, EgoSoft released patched beta 6, which fixed a problem I had last week, which is nice. So last week I hired William Barker and put him in the kukri. But when I wanted to give him a new job, he was nowhere to be seen in the rota. But as we'll see later, that's been fixed. This series and this episode is about earning money in the 7.0 patch and how has it changed from 6.0. In this episode we'll be continuing to run some missions for the Terrans. But first we're going to run a quick mission for our friendly Boron scientists so we can start doing some research. As you can see from the personnel list, William Barker is now in the kukri as service crew. Our first quick mission for Bozartar is to pick up some nanites. This research will allow us to craft some hull mods. Here we are at the pickup.
What do you have for me, lower life? I will turn you to space dust.
I'll take a look inside your cargo bay.
Well, it looks like some Taladi want my cargo, which if I'm lucky could turn into a nice opportunity for me.
There is much profit in this cargo, for me at least. Ejected into drop the cargo.
Yeah, that is two of them that want my cargo, so let's dance. He attacks me and wants me to stop. That's not how it works around here, buddy. I'm not going all out assault with the guns because I want to give the other pilots an opportunity to bail out if he wants to. Because who doesn't like free ships?
Stop your attack immediately. Security forces. This is Sector Security. Comms channel open. Reporting a criminal offense. Negative.
Haha, get wrecked.
So what have you got for me today?
People are showing a little bit too much interest in my beauty at the moment, so I'm going to go and park up.
Finally, a ship with some worthwhile cargo. Dump that cargo.
You here for the nanites? Here you go. I owe that boron a favor, so don't worry about the cost. You do know it's illegal without the proper license, right? Don't get caught with it.
Xenon sympathizer. All the time we spent looting in episode 2 should pay off now. We should have a vast inventory of crafting items, or at least a substantial quantity of basic items anyway. So that 2 hours I spent looting does have a payoff a bit further down the line.
Successfully docked.
It's an honor to have you aboard.
Hello there. Now then, we should be able to begin our research. I look forward to seeing how this turns out.
Our auto miner in second contact 2 has just deposited 133,000 credits into the account, which is definitely an amount not to be sniffed at the moment, even after 12 hours of play. We're now in Terran space, specifically Mars orbit, and we've come to talk to our handler, We should be getting some more missions from Delilah now.
Successfully docked.
Through your work on the Xenon front, you have proven yourself to be a valuable asset to the Terran cause. We might have another task for you. This one will require a somewhat softer touch, though. Having someone in our corner who is familiar with diplomacy and backroom deals will be critical to this operation's success. Our agents have been watching an analyst going by the name of Dal Busta. He is currently negotiating on behalf of the Hatikvah Free League. Get in contact with this Busta character and get acquainted with the political situation outside the Sol system. Agent Harrican, we were under the impression that you went AWOL and launched an investigation into your disappearance. I will update your personal dossier before you run into trouble. Let's take your statement. I am hereby informing you that you are being recorded. Reporting Cadet, Raibu Harrican, dispatched to observe Project Genesis. You may begin. The Sagaris pioneers are capable of moving stations? Third-party involvement? I see. We will investigate this boron. Is there anything else to report? New intel on Project Genesis? Thank you, Agent Hatikvah. You stand relieved. Ever since you handed in your report, my people have been working tirelessly to find a connection between a number of intriguing events that have occurred in Sol over the course of the last few weeks. The first incidents were barely out of the ordinary. High-tech traders missing cargo, manipulated delivery schedules, the occasional kidnapping and ransoming. Then things began to ramp up. Top-secret deliveries being raided, fake distress signals targeting our military trainees, sabotage on a grand scale. And lately, more and more of these incidents involve the Xenon in some fashion. We can no longer ignore the possibility of a major new threat to the Terran Protectorate. Based on recent evidence, my people are fairly sure that our opponents are the infamous Yaki. In a nutshell, they're pirates. Our data suggested that they originated as members of the Argon Federation, another splinter group they couldn't keep under control. The Yaki have always dabbled in dangerous technology, and they seem to have only doubled down on that alarming compulsion since we last had the pleasure of making contact. One of their criminal spin-off enterprises, the infamous Beryl, was responsible for an AGI drone attack on Earth in recent history. Expect their ships to be heavily armed and highly maneuverable. Ah, yes, indeed. I recognize you might have personal reasons for your interest, so it seems only prudent to offer you this assignment first. The objective is simple. Find out where these pirates are hiding, what their goals are, and whether they can be defeated. Unfortunately, you will only be able to call upon limited support during your mission. As an undercover operative, it is paramount that no direct connection can be drawn between you and the Terran Secret Service. Once you leave Protectorate space, you're on your own. I can provide some guidance to help you get started, but ultimately, you will be the one making decisions under pressure. You and Cadet Shinneman recently encountered an especially malicious distress signal trap that was presumably set by these Yaki. They seem to be targeting specific Terran ships for some reason, and since they're keen on eliminating anyone who follows their trail, that reason remains a mystery to us. If we catch them in the act, that will tell us more about their objectives. An advanced satellite should be able to pick up on all distress signals in the sector. My team will evaluate the data and point you towards potential discrepancies. With your record, you will do just fine, Operative. I'll leave you to prepare.
Let's go and get some advanced satellites. The equipment dock was very close, so here we are. It's time to purchase some upgrades for the kukri and build some upgrades as well.
Successfully docked.
We've come to the sales area in the equipment dock. I'm going to find the workbench and do some upgrades on the hull of our ship. It's best not to think too deeply into this, but we are going to go for the Polisher mod. This reduces the drag on our spaceship. As always, we have to make a little tribute to the RNG gods. The module can reduce the drag from between 4.7% and 16.7%. Let's hope for a roll near to 16.7%, eh? Over 15% works for me. Lots of minor improvements there. We've slid over to purchasing modules now. Time to splash a little bit of cash. Terran's producing Mark III shields, which are expensive, but who doesn't want to sit behind the best protection in the game? The Terrans don't have the best engines, but we will still take their upgrade to Mark III. So these upgrades are going to cost us 370,000 credits, a major chunk of our cash, but I feel worthwhile at this point. Now that we've given our ship a few modifications and upgrades, it's time to get back on with the quest, mission. Xenon sympathizer.
Anywhere within this sector will be fine, Operative. Let's see here. 2 medical emergencies and a harmless collision in the docking queue. Nothing out of the ordinary. Patrols are already moving in to assist. Carry on with your task.
I picked up a quick and easy mission to kill some mass traffic around a station. It's going to take me a couple of minutes and I'll pay over 68,000 credits.
Cannot tolerate your actions.
Oops.
Stop that criminal!
Thank you.
So the mission has paid out 66,480 and a seminar for a 2-star crew. I was also paid 4,000 credits by the state for killing criminals.
Illegal wares on drone.
Entering Jupiter.
Beautiful, isn't it? Solid piece, I mean. I hope we can keep it that way.
Here we are at Jupiter Equipment Dock, and I've called in some reinforcements. Here is the reinforcements by Osprey Vanguard.
Docking granted. Successfully docked.
A view of the docking procedure from an area you don't normally see it, but it's one thing that Egosoft has managed to do is give things a sense of scale, being able to stand up close next to your ships and then see how these ships are dwarfed by the stations. So I'm just going to enjoy the moment, and so can you. I accidentally edited out a chunk of footage here, which I'll show you at the end. I forgot to show you the upgrades I bought. So I've finally narrowed down the ambush to here.
Trader just sent out a distress signal, and the pattern matches that of an earlier pirate attack. We're close to apprehending these intruders.
Well, this thing handles like a brick, but on the upside there's more loot to collect. Unfortunately, none of the wingmen survived. We've just picked up our first programmable field array, which we need to make a setter. It looks like they've altered the field array so they only drop from Xenon ships now. Time to get back on the mission now we've got all the loot.
Entering Uranus.
Seems you've arrived just in time. The reports are piling up in Pioneer's territory, as we feared.
This high-tech trader has already been ambushed, so we just need to scan them.
How odd. The trader reports that she was ordered to drop her cargo, but that nothing of value ended up being stolen. Only a small amount of foodstuffs. However, there's no time to dwell on that right now. This is as far as I can safely communicate with you, Operative. From here on out, you're on your own.
Aha! Now that the venerable Terran individual has terminated communications, I can finally share my insights with my valued assistant. I do so fancy a scientific investigation.
Entering Neptune.
So for this part of the mission we need to protect Wisdom of the Pines, a Pioneer ship. Last time I played this mission there was a Terran patrol fleet nearby which took care of the majority of the Yaki for me. I've realised this is not part of the mission, was just a random occurrence. With my present setup I cannot win this encounter. You are up against a corvette and a handful of enemy ships. I just do not have enough firepower at the moment. We will have to return once we have more ships. More ships means we need to earn more money.
Osprey Vanguard.
We're going to skip back a few minutes and I'll show you what upgrades I bought for the Osprey Vanguard. I definitely don't have the money to upgrade to the Mark III Terran shields unfortunately, so the Mark IIs will have to do. Those 3 shields are going to cost us 370,000 credits. When we acquired this ship there were mines and laser towers already aboard her, so we're going to sell those to finance the upgrades. Some minor upgrades and we get paid 165,000 credits as well. So the Terran Secret Service wants some more information on Del Buster, so let's go and say hello to the Hatikvah Free League. While travelling on the highway I always keep an eye out for some missions. I want to boost my standing with the Argon and earn some cash. Destroying criminal traffic around a station is a good way to earn faction reputation.
Entering system. Hatikvah's choice.
So I'm going to turn this ship around and go and run a mission.
Entering system. Argon Prime.
We arrive at our destination. We've just got to look for red blobs on the scanner.
Identifying criminal vessels.
A simple, quick and easy mission. Time to move on to a slightly more dangerous mission, and one I made more complicated myself without even realising. I got caught with some illegal goods in my inventory, and at this point I haven't realised that the police are after me, so I've complicated my life more than I need to. Here come the police wanting a word with me. Only now do I realise the attacker is a police officer. Oops.
Suck vacuum.
So the plan is to run away for a few minutes and then come back while they're distracted by the laser turrets. I came out of the jump drive a little bit too late there. very subtle, but they've added a audio marker for when your shields have recharged, which is nice.
You're in serious trouble.
And there's me gaining enough weapons data to start the shield research.
That's just not good enough. Go away. You'll wish you hadn't done that.
There's a massive jump in my faction reputation of +7, and also a good chunk of cash, 293,000 credits. But it's time to run away before I'm shot at again. Jumping through Argon Prime on my way to Hatikvah's choice.
I knew I could count on you.
Well, that's a close and easy mission. We'll get that knocked out straight away.
Thanks for your help.
Really close to that faction reputation of 10, which will unlock the Xenon War missions for the Argon faction. Let's continue our mission to go and find out about Dalbuster.
Requesting permission to dock. Docking permission granted.
Docking granted. Successfully docked.
Trade deal's been confirmed.
That will be all. Please come in. I apologize for the state of the place. Things are rather hectic at the moment. We've signed a number of promising new trade contracts, but circumstances have left us spread a bit thin.
Green, we have an issue with the inbound ore fighter.
I hear you, doll. I'll be there in a minute. It seemingly never ends. We've prepared a freighter for you to fly over to one of our new partners. Honestly, as long as you can deliver those goods on time, I'll be happy. If you do that, the ship's as good as yours. If you screw us over, well, the worst we can do is revoke your docking privileges. Sorry to cut and run, but there's something that needs my attention. I look forward to seeing how you do.
A super simple delivery mission, and we get to keep a ship as well.
Docking granted. Successfully docked.
Welcome.
Hello there, Captain. I understand you're delivering goods on behalf of Hatikvah. Please stand by while we run some checks. All clear. Sorry about that. We're happy to see Hatikvah move away from those sketchy dealings of the past. If it means fewer scale plate pack ships in our space, I'm all for it. Just watch your back out there, Captain.
We now need to return to the Hatikvah Free League and talk to Reno Mara.
Docking granted. Successfully docked.
Welcome.
Would be prevented.
Only if I was given accurate information.
Captain, good to see you back.
Ah, this must be the new recruit.
Things went smoothly, I take it. This is Dalbusta. He's been helping us in our efforts to expand our business.
That's one way of putting it.
As you may have heard, a Hatikvah freighter was destroyed earlier today. It seems that the Scaleplate Pact don't like the idea of us going clean.
Unfortunately, this is what happens when you act on bad intel.
That's something we're looking to improve on. If you're willing, I'd like you to help us. Our goal is to break all ties with Scaleplate while making sure they don't continue harassing us.
Easier said than done, but with the right preparation, I'll have them eating out of your hand. I'll be on my ship. I look forward to working with you.
He's nothing if not confident.
The mission I planned to finish this episode was a lot harder than I remember it being. But this episode hasn't been a waste. We've got a lot of upgrades done. We've bought some new modules and we've won a few missions and earned a good chunk of cash and improved our reputation greatly with the Argon Federation. We're all set up for the next episode, so hopefully you'll join me next week. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I'll see you on the other side.